Welcome to the Dad Project 8-week rebuild. Now, I am going to give you a quick little run through just what to expect over the next 8 weeks. What expectations there are, what the nutrition is, training, all that kind of stuff. So it shouldn't take too long. So tune on in and we're away. So in regards to the training side of things, we're looking at a 3 program per week for the first 4 weeks. And then in the weeks 5 to 8, so the back half of the 8 weeks, we have 4 sessions per week. We have an upper lower split and then two full body sessions to finish off the week. The front half is more about a strength focus and targeting, obviously a little bit more volume based in there. And then the back half is more about the metabolic side of things. So a little bit more testy, but we'll definitely push you to that next point. So the first 4 weeks is all about building yourself up in terms of fitness, strength, and really dialing in everything across the board. Second phase is all about pushing to that next little level. In terms of tasks, now this probably looks a little bit like, oh, there's lots going on. It's not really. It's just more like reminders of what to do. Okay, so each day you'll get a bunch of tasks pop up. So day one, you're required to do progress pictures. You're required to do record your weight. You'll have your little tasks in there, which is there's only 3 main tasks that I wish to, I suppose, focus on, which are non-negotiables, I guess you would say, but already things you should already be focusing on anyway. So, which is drinking 3 to 4 liters of water per day, sleeping 7 to 9 hours, and then getting about 8 to 10,000 steps, or going for a 20-minute walk. So those three tasks are just going to be reminders. Like, tick them off. Have you done them? Essentially. Then you've got your meal plan. So we'll click into that. We'll open him up, and what you've got there is you've got essentially got 2 options for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Okay, so that way you don't have to think about it. If you don't want to go for the protein oats for breakfast, you can flip it and go for the bacon and egg muffin. Or for lunch, you got lean mince and rice, or you got a grilled chicken sandwich. Dinner, you've got steak, eggs, and chips and vegetables, or you've got a carbonara pasta. Now, depending on which one you choose, will vary in terms of carbohydrates and fats and all that kind of stuff. I'm not too focused on that. The biggest thing I'm focused on is how much protein you're getting in and how many calories you're getting in. If we nail protein and calories, we're sweet. Now, obviously, at the top here, you have your calorie and macro target. If you wish to track your own on like MyFitnessPal or Chronometer or anything else, like a tracking tool, that's fine. On your training days, you will have both the snacks. So you've got a snack, which is a protein yogurt and 2 pieces of fruit. And then you've got a protein shake, which is some whey isolate, some rice bubbles, or Cocoa Pops, up to you, and about 200 to 300 ml of water, depending on how obviously much water you want in there. On your non-training days, don't have your protein shake because you're going to be less active. You're going to require less fuel coming in. So that's a natural one that we can just go, okay, well, I don't need that today. So hopefully that makes sense. You pick one or the other of the meal options. Don't have them both because that'll throw calories right out the window. But like I said, you can track your own if you wish. Don't go off both because because I've added it up myself using my own tools, the whole meal planner, if you compare, you'll be like, this doesn't add up. So just track as you go or follow the meal plan. It's up to you. You're required to weigh in every pretty much second or third day. So, and then progress pictures are required at the start of each week. So day 1, day 8, day 15, etc. And then one right at the back to finish the last day. So hopefully that all makes sense. I don't like to overcomplicate it when it comes to progress, performance, results. The 2 big things are obviously training and nutrition. And then we've got water, which is essential. Then we've got sleep, where you're going to recover for your next session and just brain capacity and general day-to-day stuff. And then you've got general activity. So in the step side of things, come week 5, your step target will go up to 10 to 12,000 steps per day or a 30-minute walk. Pretty simple. Don't overthink it. The other thing I want to touch on is Communication. Definitely, if you have any dramas, any issues, all that kind of stuff, let me know straight away, because there's nothing worse than just trying to figure it out yourself and making too many wrong decisions. It's not the end of the world, don't get me wrong, but we tend to fall back to like extreme restrictive mentality. Most people will do it. Males do it, especially. Um, so communicate with me. I will touch base throughout. Don't get me wrong. I will be touching, just going, how you going? How's this feeling? How's that session been? Blah, 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 just to make sure everything is squared away. I get notified when you complete everything anyway. So I'll get a visual on what is going on or what isn't going on. The other thing that I wanted to mention and go through today is making sure you're well aware of the emotional cycle of change. Now, I'm going to run you through this because a lot of people don't understand that it's a natural thing to start off red hot and then get a little bit of a lull afterwards. It's all due to the emotional cycle of change. So, as you can see here, there's a bit of a graph. So there's 5 phases to the emotional cycle of change. There's the uninformed optimism. Now, this is where you're excited, you're super motivated, like we're novelty's high, we're ready to kick goals, which is a great thing. And we want to make that last as long as we can. However, it will dip away. That's where I suppose boredom and stuff will come in. So then you go into uninformed pessimism, which is where reality sets in and you're like, oh shit, this is going to get a little bit of a pickle now. So it is normal. Don't get me wrong. Don't start panicking and doing things and starting to look for the next thing. It's a normal phase. Communicate with me. This is where it's important. Then you go through the valley of despair, which is a big emotional low, and where you really start to go, maybe I need to quit and I need to find something, because you're not really getting, I suppose, the results just yet. You might get a good couple, and that's will happen early on, but you're not really, you're working hard and things are just starting to just go a little bit flat, if that makes sense. But if you keep digging in and get through that valley of despair and then start to work your way up into informed optimism, and this is where progress feels real now. You're starting to really notice the results happening. You're starting to feel energized, fresh. You're starting to sleep better. You got more energy when you get home from work, play with the kids, all that kind of stuff. And your confidence really starts to come up, which is exactly what we're starting to chase. And then we've got success and fulfillment. And that's where you're starting to really nail the results. You've flipped your life around, and you're proud, you're confident. All these good feelings are starting to happen, and you're like, "Yep, I've nailed this." So it is a normal roller coaster, I guess you would say. But if you grit your teeth, there will be moments where I'll be like, "Come on, just dig your heels in, let's get going," um, because a lot of people will stop literally just before results start to kick in. And that's where, if we can just dig the heels in a little bit past that these two, informed pessimism and valley of despair, everything else will start to really slingshot in the right direction. But it's only 8 weeks. We can really make some magic happen in 8 weeks. By the 6 week mark, you're like, oh, yeah, I'm feeling $1 million now and I'm really starting to nail this and I'm enjoying it. That's when the things are starting to really trend in the right direction and you're setting yourself up. 8 weeks is a great time frame to really go, okay, I've made a shit ton of results and I can see myself doing this long term. So if you have any questions throughout the time, let me know. Shoot them on through. I'm always here and I'll check on you anyway. Otherwise, let's get stuck in.